We're taking a short trip to central Colorado, and we're timing our visit to take in an arts and crafts fair in Denver, plus hitting the Renaissance Fair in Larkspur. But our trip starts off in the gambling town of Cripple Creek, gold country. The last time we were here was in 2002, where we visited some gold mines, starting off with the Molly Kathleen. Back then they were refurbishing the mine, hoping to resume mining. Our tour started by taking the small mine shaft elevator down 1,000 feet. Further north, we visited the Phoenix Gold Mine. This is a small one-man operation that really gave you the sense of what mining was all about back in the 1800s. This is the vein they were following when they first started digging the mine in 1892. And yes, he's still digging gold out of it today. A unique sight on that trip was seeing a herd of elk just lounging around someone's yard in Estes Park. But getting back to Cripple Creek in 2017, it's time for breakfast, and where there's casinos, there's cheap food, and we couldn't pass up this 49-cent breakfast. On our way to Manitou Springs, we passed by this railroad tunnel, and we stopped to take a look. And look at these gold nuggets Marianne found. Not. They're just some stones that got painted while they were painting the lines on the road. Oh well. So it's off to Manitou Springs, where we plan on spending a few hours hunting through all the shops. Our next stop is the rock formations called Garden of the Gods. We first stop into the visitor center before walking the trails around the park.
Continue on Juniper Way Loop for 3/4 of a mile.
Just outside of Colorado Springs, we stop in to see Star Kemp's kinetic sculptures. Unfortunately, the artist took his life in 1995. His house was then sold, but the remaining sculptures can still be seen from the road. As the day winds down, we head toward the Front Range Barbecue for a tasty dinner. Today we're stepping back in time with a visit to the Colorado Renaissance Fair. Our visit happened to coincide with some close friends, so we met up for a quick rendezvous. The next morning we were heading to Denver for an arts and crafts show. It turned out to be a lot smaller than we were expecting, so we ended up spending a lot of the day at the Botanical Gardens. That afternoon, we headed toward Boulder, Colorado, spending some time on the Pearl Street Mall. That night, we were in Pueblo, staying at the lovely little bed and breakfast called the Rusted Poppy. That evening, we spent strolling around Pueblo's Riverwalk. Today we're in Canyon City for a backcountry Jeep tour that will take us over the mountains to the little town of Victor and back to Cripple Creek. The roads were quite manageable and we could have made the trip on our own, but it was nice to have a guide to explain a few things. With a quick lunch in Victor at the Gold Camp Bakery, we were soon on our way to Cripple Creek, passing by some of the old abandoned gold mines. These are the tailing piles from the Newmont gold mine. This is an open pit mine, producing over 250,000 ounces of gold and silver a year. At first we didn't notice, but this viewing stand is actually the bed of a rock truck.
This section here right above the green was being poured, 2 sections up, sorry, was being poured when we were here the last time. So they filled this entire thing up with these tailings. But if they find something that's good, if they know where the gold content is, they'll tell that truck driver then, or the shovel will put the right content in the truck, and the truck will go up to the crushers. The crushers will crush it down to 3/4 inches or so, and they'll stick it in the leaching piles. The leaching pile is a big bowl, the big plastic bowl, so to speak. So there's a great big sheet of plastic on the bottom, and there's piping. And they'll put the leaching piles over it. When it gets to a certain height, they'll pour that cyanide solution over it, and it'll leach all the gold through it down the piping. They'll pump it out, and then they'll process that into bars here. They used to do little cones, but Newmont does bars. So process it into bars, and the bar's going to have gold and silver in it. And then they'll send it to either Utah or Arizona, I'm not quite sure where, to process out the silver. So it's just a fascinating process.
It's hard to comprehend the enormous size of this machinery until you see something next to it that's familiar, like this pickup truck. Back in Pueblo, our final night is spent in another bed and breakfast. This one with a unique bathroom hidden in an armoire. That night we had one of our best dinners of the trip at the Shamrock Brewing Company. Marianne enjoyed the fresh brewed root beer. I particularly enjoyed the Scotch Strong, paired with some delicious fish and chips. And we didn't pass up their signature bread pudding with Irish cream sauce. We always seem to find plenty of interesting things to do when we head to Colorado, and we look forward to coming back soon.